Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show. I'm MKT, and it's Tuesday. Hope you guys had a great celebration. If you are in the Republic, you exercised your human rights yesterday, of course. And I would imagine there are a few heads that are filled with yesterday's kind of ailings. But hey, that's your human rights, baby. That is democracy, and that is life. So welcome to it. The MKT Show, of course, with me, MKT. And it's a whole new look. It's a whole new day. And we've got some friends with us. As I said to you, we'll be changing it up. And I'm proud to be joined by the boys. You'll get to know them. And my intention, before I hand over and introduce you to the boys, is that I want to have somewhere where you can come, we can talk sports, have a laugh, have a good time, and really just be together. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. And before we get going, let me introduce the team. Paulo Diaz, by the way, is the most Portuguese man in the history of mankind. Massive Man United fan. Paulo, what you saying, Pa?
In the history of you, I don't think you've got like that broader range of knowing Portuguese people. So
Fair point.
I'll take it from you. But the sample size isn't
Not massive.
not huge. No,
Not
not huge. No.
Yeah, I know one Portuguese man.
That basically.
Yeah, Paulo. Is it Diaz or Dias? How do you say it properly? Because I know, by the way, South African Portuguese people are the most Portuguese people in the world.
It's as thank goodness for my cousin Ruben Dias. So now everyone knows how to say it. Because before it was Diaz, now it's Ruben Dias. Dias.
Yeah, that's a very Portuguese. Next to him is AFTA student, AFTA graduate, representative of AFTA, James Illingsley. James, what's happening, pal?
Not an awful lot. Super excited. First time doing something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I won't let your insults about AFTA get me down.
Hey, that's business, baby.
Look, you just got to move forward, hey? Roll with the punches.
You got to move forward. And a big Liverpool fan. How are you feeling about Liverpool at the moment, pal?
Not great. Not fantastic. I don't want to blame Virgil for our recent spate of results the entire season because I don't think that's fair.
Hey,
you know?
Get on with it. Nobody wants to hear it. All right, well, these are the boys. And as I say, I'm MKT. And this is how we'll be moving forward from now on. And come and hang out with us. I want it to be the best part of everybody's day. That's what I want it to be. And today we're going to talk a little bit. We'll talk United. Of course, if you're a Spurs fan, Mourinho, there's a situation developing there. And then obviously every single Tuesday, and we'll get to it in a moment, is I kind of tell people, I'd usually do it on Monday, but we had a holiday yesterday. I tell people where I was right, where I was wrong, because I make predictions, right? And I want to be credible. So let's start off with where I was right. Where I was right, Paul Pogba, listen, he's back now. There's no reason for that performance against Leicester. It is not acceptable. It is not something which I think that as a United fan you can accept. And now you don't have the excuse with Pogba. It's his, fifth season? You can't expect the ebbs and the flows. And by the way, I pay £90 million. I don't have to babysit you. And by the way, I pay £90 million. Availability is the greatest ability. And now Pogba is what? He's injury prone now. He's not unlucky. Some people are unlucky. He's injury prone. I paid £90 million for that. That ain't going to work. I'm afraid if you're a United fan, you're better without him. This season, it's been your best season in 5 years. The last time you were in this position, Jose Mourinho, what happened? Pogba was injured that season. Listen, great talent. Great talent does always mean a great teammate. I'm afraid move on from Pogba. Where I was wrong, Eddie Jones. Big problems if you're England. Here's the problem in rugby. It's not football. It's not NFL. The trough isn't that big. I think I've told you before, rugby's amateur, and I hate that about rugby, is they haven't gone global. They're an analog product in a digital time. They can't create revenue. Here's the problem, is they've given him a massive deal. It's gone awfully wrong. And Eddie Jones, it's happened everywhere. Brumbies, even the Springboks didn't keep him when they could have. It's gone awfully wrong now. Here's the problem. You're in the middle of a World Cup cycle. You change now. You essentially write off the next sort of 4 years. And probably the 4 years after that, it takes 8 years, as Clive Woodward will tell you. I was dead wrong. I thought he would get it right. Because big resources, big talent, big bust. Where I was right. In rugby, people have said for years now, and it's ridiculous coach talk. Get the best fly half, you got the best team. You're wrong. I've said best scrum half is the most important man in the team. You know why? In ball sport, folks, let me tell you this. Simple rule. In ball sport, your best player should be the person who touches the ball the most. Who touches the ball the most in rugby? The scrum half. Hey, Joel Stransky, not the best fly half ever, World Cup, right? For us, we had, look, I like Butch James. Midlands guy, Maritzburg guy, but honestly, he's not the best fly half. But you got Fourie du Preez, right? Last World Cup, listen, love Faf or not, he was the best scrum half in the world, wins your World Cup. Need I say more? Aaron Smith at his best, DuPont the best. They're going to win this thing outright. Where I was wrong, I thought Arteta would bring sort of that Man City intensity to Arsenal. What he's done is bring the intensity. What he hasn't done, and this is what Guardiola always gets overlooked for, organisation. Arsenal aren't organised. Listen, there's talent there. They're not worse than Aston Villa. And I'm afraid after 29 games, you are what you are. Arteta's got big problems. But it's the growing pains. Do you stick with him? Probably, because you've paid him now. And Arsenal, we know they don't spend big. But I was wrong there. I thought they turned it around quicker. Where I was right, I said, in cricket, all right, ODI cricket, T20 cricket, don't worry about specialists. That's a waste. Who's got the best all-rounders? India did. The pressure came. Virat Kohli and the boys delivered. 224 they made. England got smashed. Where I was wrong. Listen, Sadio Mane. I love Sadio Mane. I do love him. But what he is good. Because great does what? Great goes back to back. I've only seen Sadio Mane win the title once for Liverpool. And he's shrunk because now's his time to rise. The phoenix from the ashes. And I love Mane. I don't want to crush him. But I was wrong. He's not on that level. I was starting to say he's getting into Ronaldo, Messi kind of level. I was starting to say it at the beginning of the season. I was wrong. I got to swallow that bitter pill. Where I was right. Chelsea, I'll tell you what, folks. I've said this before. Often your value in life, you'll be able to see your value in life when you're not there. Frank Lampard's value has just plummeted. Same players, same squad, 12 games. Thomas Tuchel could have been a Martian from a different planet, like he didn't know who these players are. Look at this Chelsea team now. It's a completely different team. Nothing's changed. Lampard, big problems. I don't know if he's getting another big job in the next 5 years because Tuchel's shown him up. I said they were organised. I said they were better. Chelsea up and up. Where I was wrong. Listen, I thought Mourinho's intelligence with Levy's Savvy's organisation and spending would be a match made in heaven. You know what's happened? I don't think that Spurs were ready for the force that Mourinho was. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But Jose Mourinho, I think, is too big for Spurs. And I was wrong. I thought Spurs were on the rise. Spurs, still Spurs, doing Spurs things. Lastly, where I was right. Listen, Liverpool are not a dynasty. Get that into your minds, please, people. Stop telling me about how great Virgil van Dijk. You know, I heard the most horrendous thing I've ever heard. Somebody compared Virgil van Dijk, right? This is after one season. He's won one title, to Sergio Ramos. Listen, to all of you that say that, you do not deserve human rights. You are ridiculous. You are absolutely ridiculous. When you ever compare a generational, Sergio Ramos is generational, and that word is overused. Virgil van Dijk had one good season. One doesn't make you great. You can be good in one season. You can be serviceable in one season. I'm afraid if you can't go back to back, he's not even... Listen, I'm a Chelsea fan. Am I biased? Perhaps. I am not taking him over Ricardo Carvalho. Forget it. Ricardo Carvalho back to back with John Terry, greatest maybe CB combo since Vidic and Ferdy. You might argue those two, but I'm sorry, Virgil van Dijk and Liverpool dynasty. Stop that, get that out of my face. That's where I was right, where I was wrong. Listen, you know, I can't live with the Pogba thing. I can't live. Paulo, talk to me about. Listen, we'll get into Oli in a little bit. But talk to me about what you saw yesterday. Pogba's back now. How long has he been out? And it's consistent now, right? It's not like I'm being harsh. People say I'm too harsh on Pogba.
Do you have a hashtag? Do you have your own? Does anyone support a team that their players had a hashtag or an emoji? Because that's what it's about. Don't we understand? Fam.
Yeah.
Fam, right?
Lit.
That's what the kids are after.
Yeah.
Pogba's a scapegoat. Obviously, it's easy. I'm not his biggest fan. He's a problem that Solskjaer probably didn't want. He handled it phenomenal, right? I mean, that hand grenade that Raiola threw in there, crucial Champions League game, like Ole could have really just blown that apart, but he handled it well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Pogba is the least of United's problems, and I think, you know, what do you say? Availability is what?
The greatest ability.
The greatest ability. I like that. And what Pogba solves that because he's a problem for the 3 or 4 games that he's fit and interested. and then he disappears for 2 months. He's not a problem. So it's just that like short interim burst that you have to handle with him. And the rest of the time, just pretend he's not there like he does.
And what do you do about a guy like Ollie? And we'll talk a little bit about Ollie in a bit. Is what do you do about him and handling that size ego? Because sometimes I think people forget that handling Paul Pogba is not like an easy thing, right? Like he's probably a bigger brand than United, if not at least at the same level. Is in his mind, he's the guy. You know, with Fergie, with Beckham, you saw what happened. Is get the hell out. Like you get too big, Van Nistelrooy, get out. Jaap Stam, get out.
Yeah.
Is he managing that Pogba situation well?
You got to be careful of like getting to Graham Souness territory where you like judge Pogba just because what he looks like and what you think he is, right? Because there's a perception that he's this baller. Like we don't know. Like everything you look at, teammates seem to like him. Like the youngsters gravitate towards him. His teammates gravitate towards him. So I think our perception of him must be very different.
Yeah.
I mean, as a guy, he's a Muslim. He's, you know, he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's evidently always with family. And this is a problem, you know. So you just got to be careful of like saying what Pogba is just because you don't like the way he looks.
Yeah.
and because he has, God forbid, a 20-year-old changes his hair, you know, someone in 20 changes their hairstyle. I mean, that's like his biggest sin. You got to judge him as a footballer. I mean, whoever felt the fit was right, but at the time he came in, he has a guy, potentially one of the world's best midfielders, coming to your club. Can there be anything wrong? Is he Varane 2.0? Probably at the end of it. You know, it's being fit. It's just being present. That's been his biggest problem. Because when he's there, you can see what he brings. When he's not there, God damn it, we've got Fred. Like, I don't want to live in a world where Fred is your solution to anything. I would rather have Mina Raiola next to Pogba than Fred. You know what I mean?
I do know.
And that's just a problem because at least Mina Raiola complements Pogba.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's a challenge. I mean, Pogba's the least of the problems right now. He absolutely is the least of the problems.
All right, we'll get into it. James, your thoughts on Liverpool and their dynasty talk?
I've got a lot.
Yeah, let's hear it.
To say about Liverpool. I think, I don't know. I don't blame Virgil for Liverpool's recent forms. I feel like people are too harsh on him as a player outside of Liverpool's form. Like you said, you know he's had this one great season, and that's been about it. But he hasn't had a second season to prove himself.
Yeah,
he got injured against Everton within the first couple of games of the season. He's been out, so that's kind of been where his Liverpool career has just kind of stopped. In terms of our title, I was confident going into the season. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. I was. I thought that Klopp had built an incredibly strong team, an incredibly strong bench. I thought that we were ready to actually take on Europe again. You know, those glory days of Xabi Alonso, Steven Gerrard, all of them.
Oh, wow.
But that's just not the way the cookie crumbled.
But like, who saw this coming, right, with what happened with Liverpool?
Me.
Really?
I've said it.
Like, we all knew that they're going to burn out. I mean, if you take the 3-year cycle, and Liverpool won the title without winning the title that 1 year.
Yep.
You know, close to. Did they crack 100 points? It was close.
97.
I think it was 98 or 97.
Yeah. I mean, there was just so they won the title without winning, and that burnt out, right?
Yeah.
But like this level of what's happened, because we're talking at one stage like, do Liverpool ever relinquish the title? You know, look at all these youngsters. What's that little top knot guy? Who's that child? 16 years old, the Fulham one.
Oh yeah,
Harvey something.
Elliot.
Oh, he's gonna be the best. And like, we had this shoved down our throats, but you actually had a point when it's gonna happen. No one saw this. Okay, you saw it, right? Okay,
I did. No, I've been saying it on the show all year. Right? Here's the thing. My thing is this: it's quite easy, and this is the greatness of Sir Alex Ferguson, and it kills Man United fans. It's so easy to be the hunter. Once you're the hunted, there's double pressure, right? The pressure is going to be, can you retain? And then you're everyone's Super Bowl. And none of the Liverpool players have ever been that guy. Like, all of them came together and kind of overachieved together. But when you look at the Chelsea teams, you look at those United teams, you look at the great City teams that are being built now, is guys are used to being that guy. So the winning thing is, so for me, and I've been saying the fatigue, because like you're saying, 2 seasons ago, they won the league, really. 97 points. That's enough to win the league 99% of the time. And then the last season, they did win the league. Everything tells you. There's only been 2 3-peat sides, right? 2 great Fergie sides. Everyone falls off a cliff in the 3rd season. Look at Pep.
Yeah.
And this team is nowhere near Man City's talent level. So when you fall off that cliff with Pep, you come 3rd.
And squad size. That's a huge issue.
Oh, the depth in City's team is incredible.
Incredible. When they fall off a cliff, it's to 4th, it's to 3rd. And honestly, I've been saying it on the show. If you've been watching the show the whole year, I said Liverpool were going to fall off a cliff, and I said they won't make top 4 this year. I said that at the beginning of the season in my predictions. I just want to say. So, hate to see it, James. It breaks my heart. It really
I'm sure it does
break my heart.
Listen, I just want to address something quickly, right? So James is sitting here with a little handheld mic like a preschooler with his rattle there. Okay, there is a point. Okay, Umbalelo and I we're like veterans, right?
Yeah.
We are broadcast veterans. Okay, we're the greatest podcast online, whatever you never heard of.
Legends.
Right? Legends.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw the
You
word.
guys are so humble.
Really
Humble.
It's, you know what, but you got to aspire. So we felt that we got the mic stands, and when push comes to shove and you have to make a call on who misses out, it's the child.
It's going to happen. Go to AFTA.
You don't
get a mic.
Get born in the 90s, and this is your life. This is what happens.
James, you are young. You are? How old are you now?
24.
24. So you don't know what a cassette is, huh?
He barely knows what a CD would be.
Yeah.
No, guys, you say that, but I had movies like Spirit and Toy Story on VHS.
Look at this guy.
I did.
Hipster.
I did.
Old hipster, yeah. Where's your top knot?
Yeah. Where did you watch it?
That part I can't remember. I'm sure we must have had a player.
No, because what they were doing is they were phasing it out. So like Game and everyone was selling it for like 3 rand a VHS cassette.
24 years old, huh?
I am.
So you were born in 2000 or 19?
97.
Christ's sake, I matriculated that year.
Unbelievable. All right. Wow.
I've gone wrong. but that's just a peek behind the curtain, because I feel that's important, right? We've all been like serious guys, right? Oh, Ole in,
Yeah.
Pogba back, whatever. But like at the end of the day, that's why James doesn't have a mic stand. And maybe I'll get there. I got to tell you, Umbalelo, I know you're the boss of the show, right?
Yeah,
we had a little bit of a moment where we were like, you know what, let's get a mic stand, because you start as you mean to go on.
Sure.
And there's a storeroom over there. We're just going through it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, all sorts of things. So we did actually try to skip this.
We did behind your back while you were there preparing your whole thing.
Yeah.
We did try.
Getting waxed.
Yeah.
Why are you getting waxed for this, by the way?
Listen, it's all about a look. Listen, lifestyle, beauty is for you. All of the waxing's for me. That's not for the world.
Why do I have to watch?
Well, I mean, that's the added bonus. You work here, you get to watch.
Why did I pay for it?
Yeah, a tiny little lady ripping honey and wax.
Wait, did I miss something? When
my-
is this happening?
Listen, you're 24. You're too young for it. Listen, James, there are pecking orders, buddy.
There are, sure.
You want a mic stand? You got to go through the long grass.
You think Harvey Elliott has a mic stand in that Liverpool dressing room? Okay, Harvey Elliott has to go sit in the corner, a little top knot.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even have a locker there. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's good. It's going to happen. All right, listen, I want to move on. We touched on it a little bit. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, Paulo, we were talking about Ole a little while ago. And so maybe I actually want to start with you, Paulo. On the Ole thing, I want to throw a question, because there's 2 halves to this camp, right? The one is he had to repair essentially 8 years of madness, because it has, since Fergie left, it's been madness, especially if all you've ever known is success, And so for me, I'm kind of contrasted on Ole. There's Ole in, hashtag Ole out. By the way, there is a poll on Twitter that you can go and vote on. Ole in, that's on the Cliff Central Sport Twitter page. Go and vote Ole in or Ole out, yes or no. But for me, Paulo, I think I'd like to know where you stand. Where are you in terms of Ole and why?
That's nonsense Twitter stuff. Because, isn't like everything on social media either the best or the worst?
Absolutely.
Like nothing can be good without something else being bad.
Horrendous. You've got to be horrendous, or you're the best that's ever been ever, or you are the pits of hell in hell.
So, another example, just to digress, and we'll never do that on the show. We're not going to digress at all.
Pros.
This week, so I see Ronaldo gets a shirt, GOAT. 700. You see that, right?
Oh my word.
Okay. So, but it's fine because now he's the greatest goal scorer of all time. But true as God, the Messi camp goes this week. Oh, Messi broke another record. Every week, Messi breaks a record. Most goals scored in green boots. Most goals scored like against teams that end in a A.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just because it's like you cannot accept that one, and it's the whole Ole in, Ole out thing.
Yeah.
And it feels like a Wenger in. Who started it? Blood? It was the Arsenal fan TV guys, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So
AFT.
Blood, young gun. What do they call young? What are his slang words?
Blood. Brother.
That's one.
Mandem. Yeah.
So anyway,
well, listen, we are going to have AFTV guys on here, and I do watch AFTV, so we're,
it's a wild program.
yeah, they are wild.
It is.
but I mean, they only exist to be negative. I mean, and that's why I have to say, okay, and I just want to start off, this is why my opinion on Ole keeps changing, because this week, I got to say, he could have gone and been like a real douche and like won in the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
United could have had like a competent performance, 2-0 over Leicester, well coached, well drilled. And then what are we going to talk about? A good United doesn't sell. We want content. We need a bad United, right? So Ole goes and does us a solid and like completely craps the bed for us.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's when he goes back. He's in my good column, right?
I see, for content.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's business, baby.
He's a Manchester United machine. He understands if it bleeds, it leads. So
So here's my thing. Right? Okay, I was thinking about this whole Solskjaer story and how he hasn't really put in the results since he's taken over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from a Man United as a brand perspective, they've sort of looked at it and been like, okay, let's bring in this cult hero, this Man United family hero, and he'll save the day. And I think they expected him to come with those old Man United sort of mindsets under Fergie and stuff like that, and immediately bring the team into shape. But I mean, I feel like you need a lot more. You don't just need the mindset of a 92 winning class. I'm not sure if he was actually part of them. Was he? I think
he was the 99. He was
99, but
team.
close enough.
Same difference.
I mean, you were born in 99.
Potato, tomato, right?
You weren't even alive in 99. But I kind of hear what you're saying. But my thing is this with Ollie and Paulo, is it unrealistic? Because everybody always, the reference is Fergie all the time. And, I keep arguing with United fans. I say there is no United way. There's a Fergie way. It wasn't the United way.
This is the United way.
Thank
Middling,
you.
float around the middle six, knockout in semi-finals, Gary Bailey, God bless your goalkeeper. That's the United way, not Fergie's way. If you go back and take out the 90s and that period, we're actually right on brand. We're back to where we were.
And I think, but a lot of people, they call it recency bias, right? A lot of people are stuck in, we had Fergie now, and who wouldn't want to be stuck from 86 to 2013, right? But for me, I feel like, how do we find the Ollie way without comparing the Fergie way? Is it possible to because honestly, he's going to need a couple of seasons top 4. United aren't winning in the next couple of years.
Like when he comes in with that story, I can't park in Fergie's place because that's the boss. I'm so glad he stopped that. Okay, there's like he's a little bit more. He's harder now.
Yeah.
But like when you come in with stuff like that, you're not helping yourself because all everyone looks at is you're a tribute act.
Yeah.
That's what you are. You're a Spice Girls reunion act without Victoria Beckham. Like that's what he's trying to do here.
Yeah.
And the thing, so the Ole in, Ole out. I don't think it's as simple as that, right? Because nobody in their right mind wants him out now because then you've wasted 2 years. You've wasted how many millions? And he did bring back, he came in, the mentality's right. And it's almost like he's a better guy for the club than he is for the team.
Yeah.
Says the right things, looks the right way, tells the right stories. But on the pitch, it's like, it's a disaster. I mean, oh, come on. I mean, there's no football there. Scott Parker's got Fulham playing in better patterns than we do.
Yeah.
No Bruno, no party. That's that.
Yeah.
And that's a situation.
But it can't change. It can't change. He's not going anywhere. They've put a structure around him that's going to make him work or work harder for him and make it easier to replace him. Okay, let's be honest. But that's going to take 2-3 years before they have. As long as you're getting Champions League, as long as the brand's up there, the biggest story, a football story last Thursday is United shirt sponsor. The biggest story in football last Thursday after a round of Champions Leagues.
Team Viewer, huh?
That's the biggest story.
Is that their new sponsor?
Team Viewer.
Team Viewer.
Oh.
Great program. You can only have it on one computer though, which I don't love.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
is it like a Teams?
So
No, it's spy software.
Oh, I actually had TeamViewer. I know what you're talking about.
It like
It's where
lets you control other people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Computer.
yeah.
Which, I mean, make the parallels. I mean, so one of the Glazers is probably sitting there.
Ollie.
Woodward's team viewing Ollie's
Team
like,
viewing
you know,
Ollie's brain.
Ollie's little laptop that he sits there.
That's
It's
exactly
like
it.
team viewing. Oh shit, he's moving my players around.
Look, and I think we have to be honest as well. There is a situation because the Pogba thing will always come up, right? Is for me, corporate, which is what football clubs are now, are always talking to us. There's a language called money. When I give you the most, I don't say to you that I expect the most from you, but really, when I give you the most money, it's sort of unspoken, right? Some things are unspoken.
So James, the parallel is when you're given the least money.
Yes.
The least is expected of you. Okay. At least I get a mic stand. And this, by the way, on the mic stand, it's not always cracked up to be, right? There's things like wonky, it's leaning to the left, draw the parallels that you will.
My only thing is this thing's very heavy. my wrist is actually tired.
It's your young wrist.
That's I'll leave that there. We don't want to make it a locker room show.
Whoa, James. James. Whoa. Not the time, Paul.
I didn't know we were delving this deep into our personal
Don't you have a girlfriend?
That's not what we mean when you say Ole out.
Yeah,
right?
whoa.
Leave your Ole in.
Yeah, that was, wow. First show, huh, James? Wow, your lady, you're going to have a situation.
A little bit, I think so.
That is going to be, yeah, you're going to have to deal with that at home.
So we that show now.
Well, I mean, James,
that show.
But after.
There you go.
Takes you into the gutter. You know, like I'm saying, Paulo, for me, the Pogba thing is a situation because you know why I know it's a situation? It's a situation.
Yeah, it's exactly.
We're not imagining that it's a situation, and it didn't come out of nowhere, right?
Why is it a situation? Because it bleeds and it leads.
Yeah.
It's almost like you get the sense that no matter what is being said about United, they don't care if it's good or bad, just as long as it's being said. United launched last week, again, a TikTok channel.
Yeah.
Like gangbusters, the biggest TikTok channel launch ever. Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all they care. That as long as that's happening, that's on brand. It's fine. As long United posted a profit in a pandemic, right?
That's all that matters.
Yeah, okay, and they're screwed up like little bookkeeping ways. That's okay. No trophy, 33 million. There's a reason that story comes out the day before they think United could be knocked out Europa.
Listen, that happens in media all the time.
But
you and I
they
both
play
work
the
in that
game.
world. They do.
That's the game. That's the game that the Glazers are playing.
Okay, now you're a Man United fan. How does that sit with you? Because now it's like there was a ruse for a while, like we care about the on-field stuff, and now the king is naked. Like, how do you feel about that? It is all about the bottom line. How you feel about
That's it. But you see, also what that buys you is a degree of insulation, because United will always be able to buy a world-class player. Always. We always will. We can always will be able to buy Pogba. We will always have good kids coming out the academy. Always. So that's just always going to happen. It's always going to feed. And as long as you have someone enabling third, fourth finish, and now Ole says don't need trophies. It's an ego thing. So, okay.
For the manager of Manchester United to say we don't need trophies.
In the week of a quarterfinal, 2 quarterfinals. What was Europa League? Last 73. Whatever round of Europa League we're in.
Hilarious.
To say that in that week, we don't need trophies, and then the players perform like they did in 2 games, where do you think it comes from? Why are you saying that stuff? Why does it even come out?
That's going to get you.
You know what I mean? These are the mistakes he keeps making that makes you go, it's always with him. 2 steps, you think, I'm behind him, I get it, I see what he's doing, and then he pulls off nonsense like that. Then he pulls off, and we haven't even got into the game against Leicester. I don't know if we'll get there. But he does stuff like that. He goes, you're so hard to support because you keep doing these things. And you're not 35. You're not Arteta.
Yeah.
You know, first job, making mistakes. He's been around.
Yeah, he's been Cardiff, Mulder.
He's been there.
around. So let's get to that.
Oh,
right?
God, I don't want to be this guy, but I'm this guy.
Hey,
now I'm this guy.
You know, this is what will happen. You know, that sort of Portuguese blood will boil, and you love to see it. Talk to me about this, Paulo. So I was watching that game. I watched the Chelsea game, and perhaps it's because I romanticize Man United. And again, I fall into the United way. No, Fergie way.
Yeah.
Here's another thing for me, is you've got a centre-back pairing that's worth about 120 million pounds, give or take, right? And again, when I pay you that money, when I pay a world record for you, I don't want to have to babysit you, right? You should be doing the babysitting.
But that's what Solskjaer's doing.
Yeah, it's mental.
That's what he's doing. He's letting Maguire's in charge of their backline.
Yeah.
100%. There's no coaching. We concede the same. All our goals are the same 2-3 goals. All of them. Watch all our goals. Teams target us. They know where to go. They know where our gaps open. They know. That's goal we conceded the first one. Fred coming in deep. That's the second time in my memory recently that's happened. That's coaching.
That is coaching.
But that's his style.
Yeah. Do you think the Lindelof Maguire thing is going to work though? Because they've spent a hell of a lot of money. And here's the other problem. The solution, again, he's never available. Eric Bailly probably is a better combo with either Maguire or Lindelof. I don't know how you feel about that. But he's never available.
You know, it's the eye test, right? So I saw, it was actually United Leicester, one of Mourinho's first matches. I was at Old Trafford to see it, right? Bailly played that game. What a beast. Like an absolute, but like everything.
Yeah.
Not just physical. Read the game, spoke, communicated, on the ball, had everything. But it's, listen, what? Availability is your fertility.
Greatest ability. Gosh. James, you must be happy about that as a Liverpool fan, though, because you're terrible, but it's like Man United being decent is like terrible for them because they've got higher standards. It didn't take them 30 years to win a title. How are you feeling about United and their way? Do you think United can win the league?
I was convinced at the beginning of the season. I think, they had the potential to be that team of mentality monsters and go out and just kill every team that they come across. But it's not going that way. I don't see them winning another Premier League for the next good while.
United.
Yeah.
We are second right now. I honestly don't believe we've ever been further away from a title.
Wow.
I don't believe in
Why? Just because City have so many points, or as a team?
Just in general.
I just don't believe that we've ever been further away from winning another title, despite being second.
Wow.
But again, there was a 3-week period. Title race on. As soon as the pressure was on, off the cliff.
It's what happens. Listen, my issue is this, is whenever you are playing 6 at the back, 'cause when you play 4 at the back, the fact that you have to babysit Lindelof and Maguire, whether you have to or not, is another question.
And McTominay's got to look after Fred half the time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's McTominay and Fred. They essentially are auxiliary centre backs. You can't win with that, because when you come up against Leicester that are like, oh, we see what you're doing, and you know what the worst part is? It leaves Bruno on his own, because kind of what I saw, even when he came on, I mean, it was nice, but because they have to babysit the centre backs, right? You're playing 6 at the back, essentially, and you're putting Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who isn't great going forward, but you're making him even more defensive.
Don't give me, please.
Yeah, listen, gets a nosebleed when he crosses the halfway line, I always say. But here's the problem, is that when you disconnect the back 4 from Bruno, right, is now he's stranded in the middle, and you kind of saw how, who's the Belgian boy who scored the great goal? Tielemans scored that unbelievable goal. And indeed, he kind of bullied that midfield, because Bruno, even when he came on, was alone in that midfield, because McTominay and Fred and the backline are so deep. They're so far away. And then it puts the forwards on an island.
And the only benefit, the one benefit is that if De Gea is there, you go even deeper, because he doesn't like coming for crosses. At least Henderson is pushing them up. So because he likes to sweep, and he's not scared to come for crosses, and he makes mistakes, but he's not scared. Where De Gea doesn't want to leave his line. So at least without De Gea, you eliminate that. Yeah, but when he's playing, and it's you've seen with Liverpool, when you start operating like different parts of your team as islands. So, Liverpool, for Klopp, like, okay, I mean, he knows more than me, but if you observe this thing, right, why not play? And he eventually came round to it, and now Liverpool's turned around. You're going to take out Henderson and Fabinho, your most crucial part of your team, move them back to cover a shortfall that goes, surely them in midfield, such powerhouses, can protect any sort of young pairing Greek child from the Turkish 3rd division, from Germany's worst team, for example, but it just shows what happens when you start isolating the different parts of your team, because you've got defense, and Liverpool had a defense, and then they had no midfield, and they had a forward line hoping for the best. And we sort of like, you put the two teams, United and Liverpool, as much as there's rivalry, we're identical clubs. We just follow what the other one does constantly, just in 18-month times, rotations.
That's Liverpool are pretty bad as well.
I mean, look,
It's not bad. Liverpool will finish top 4.
I don't believe it.
Interesting
I don't.
thought.
I genuinely believe that we will be maybe bottom 5, so like 10 to 5. I don't think we'll be top 4.
Okay, so tell me this then. If you're saying that, in the summer now, you've got some decisions to make. So 2 questions. Do you keep Jurgen Klopp, number 1? And then number 2, if you have to sell one between Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, who do you keep and why?
Okay. In terms of Salah and Mane, I think any day of the week you keep Mane. I don't think he will ever reach that level of Messi or Ronaldo, like you said earlier. He's a good player, just don't think he'll reach that level. I think Mane is a lot more prolific. Salah has his moments and he's very quick with his feet and it's very Messi-esque. But I think, outside of that, it's all flair, really. It's all a show.
Is he the greediest player you have ever seen, Mo Salah?
1,000%.
Yeah, but so what? Like,
no, he's he's greedier than Ronaldo.
You know what I mean? If you're greedy and you don't do it, you're Marko Arnautovic. But I mean, if you're greedy and you're top scorer for how many seasons in a row, look, it's fine.
If you're greedy and it works,
yeah,
100%. If you're greedy and it's costing us chances and goals that will win us games, then yeah.
And sorry, he wasn't greedy for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
When he was top scorer and everything was going. Now all of a sudden he hit a blit. Oh, so greedy. They don't talk to each other.
Hey, but that's business.
That's the way it works.
If you winning, they always say. So when I was playing football, I had a Russian coach, female, greatest coach I've ever had, right? And she would always say, winning is the best makeup in the world. It is makeup. Like all of your blemishes, just win. Like if you go and win, everything's fine. Like don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
So hey, it's gonna happen. That's business. Mo Salah, baby. That's what it takes. You want to be the pharaoh of Liverpool. That's what's gonna happen. Your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp? What do you do at the end of the season there, Jimbo?
Jurgen, I think he's done a phenomenal job at rebuilding a team that was absolutely shocking.
A club.
Yeah,
a
30
club.
years. 30 years.
Club.
A club.
Yeah.
I think he's given birth to players like Curtis Jones. I'm not saying Harvey Elliott, who's questionable. Curtis Jones.
He was the best. They said he was the best.
Oh,
they said it was. They called a coup. A coup.
Man, but can't take him.
No, look, I think Klopp is a very good manager in the sense that he knows how to build a team and build morale within that team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think so. I think he should run out his contract. Gerrard's doing well at Rangers. I think after that, bring Gerrard in.
Well, do
we not? Christ, Lampard, Arteta, Solskjaer, Pirlo.
People don't learn.
Don't we learn?
People don't learn.
They have no track records though. You're
want
looking at Solskjaer.
Yeah.
You're looking at Solskjaer, who has a track record in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
He gave Haaland his debut.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Did he really?
Yeah, he gave Haaland his debut.
Okay, cool. Good for him.
Yeah.
But his track record is Norway.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, you look like Jurgen Klopp.
No, I don't.
With the glasses. That's what it is. You need a cap. I was wondering
Quickly,
what it was.
Blame the wind for losing.
Yes.
Blame it on the wind.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Just say, I blame the wind
Just
for
say, I
losing.
blame the wind for losing.
I blame the cut grass for losing.
That's
Jurgen
it.
Klopp.
He even improvised, hey?
You-
He had a moment. He had a
Jurgen.
moment.
Hey, that's who you
Wears
look like.
tracksuit pants to work?
Slacks. After. What you gonna
Sweatpants,
do?
guys.
We're trying to pull off an Arteta Parker double act here. And we got old Klopp here with his...
If I'm comfortable, everyone's comfortable. If I'm wearing
Okay.
my sweatpants, there you go.
Hey, Jimbo, you stand your ground. All right, so you reckon Jurgen Klopp for one more season, huh?
Yeah, I think his contract ends 23, 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon Jurgen one more season.
So speak about Gerrard, if you don't mind me cutting in.
Yeah, please do.
Because this is coming up a lot, right? all over. And okay, all due respect, like I support teams in the Portuguese league. I think the Portuguese league is, and I don't buy into this Farmers League nonsense. Players have got to come from somewhere. It's just, I think it's just jingoistic English nonsense.
Sure.
But I mean, is Norway more off the radar than Scotland?
Yes.
There's been like a domination, one team leagues or whatever, but Scotland is like completely.
Yeah.
So
are you saying Steven Gerrard to be the manager of Liverpool?
I endorse it.
100,000%.
I will wait.
For
I
sure.
endorse it. Okay. I cannot wait. But
maybe
don't
okay.
we learn?
Look, you know.
Hashtag wow.
Look, okay. So here it is, right? So you have Norway, like we're speaking, Solskjaer, no track record, right? Gerrard, who's knocked a team like Celtic off their perch for the first time in I think it's like 12 years or something.
He did well in Europa.
Yeah.
I mean, give him that.
I think I think he's the man. He's a Liverpool
gonna be
man
amazing.
by heart. I think he'll give blood and guts to the club.
It's
I
going to
think he'll
be amazing.
Hey, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear what people have to say in the comments about that, James.
Speaking of comments, we do have a result from that poll.
Oh, yeah?
It's not final. Should Man United keep Oli? 57.1% says yes. 42.9% says no.
Is there a Liverpool filter that we can take out all the Liverpool supporters on that? Because I imagine it would flip right over.
Like that isn't democratic. I just want to put that out there. That hasn't been vetted whether that Liverpool filter. So Steven Gerrard, huh?
No,
hey.
I want to say something, right? Like it's like we got to be fair and we support our certain teams or whatever, but you have to give fair comment. Give Klopp whatever he wants to keep him at that football club.
100%.
I'm sorry, whatever he wants. I don't think he's never really given indication that Bayern doesn't fit him, and also I just think international football, once you've reached that level, is seriously a step backwards.
Yeah.
Give that man whatever he wants, because like that is for what it is. Klopp is the only man for Liverpool. So whatever you're going through now, it's temporary. He'll figure it out. He'll work it out. They'll reinvest. Give that man whatever he wants. Because as romantic as Steven Gerrard seems, that's just... we did run gigs as well. We did run gigs for a few games. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's as romantic as it seems. He looks great in a suit. Love it. Hates Phil Collins. But, I mean, let's give Klopp whatever he wants. The keys to the club shop, because that's where he buys all his clothes from.
He does.
So here is the keys.
Yeah.
Take whatever you want. You and Tuchel can go buy everything.
So here's my thing, right? I believe in, not making football all about money, which is something I think Liverpool have done very, very well over the past couple of years. They've made sure that their brightest, shiniest stars aren't on these incredible pay packets.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing that Jurgen has struggled with in recent months in particular, is that the way the Liverpool board operates, not wanting to spend large amounts of monies into these superstars. I think,
except your keeper and your centre-back.
For sure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but their salaries aren't outrageous.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think, that's where Klopp is struggling. He can't go to the board and say, I want Sergio Ramos as the centre-back replacement for argument's sake. Never going to happen. But he can't go to the board and say he wants a superstar like that to replace Virgil, because that's not how the board works. And I'm all for it.
So are you saying Virgil's done?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
to replace him, isn't
you
it?
need a world-class replacement to replace a world-class player.
But
you do.
But Klopp is a coach, though, and I think that's why Liverpool have fallen off. Klopp will take a player. What's it, Quebec? I mock him.
Yeah.
But there's obviously something to him, right?
Sure.
And Klopp, with time on the training ground, which nobody has, and that's what I say the difference is. Solskjaer, you can give him all the time. He cannot coach but he cannot make a better player.
Yeah.
Okay? It didn't seem like Lampard could either.
No.
And you see it time and time again with elite managers or managers who were elite players. It's hard to transfer that.
Yeah.
Klopp in a normal season, because let's embrace all of that. And we've not even said that once.
Yeah.
This is a weird season. Klopp, with 3-4 days in between matches on the training ground, he turns the whole thing around. He takes Kabak and turns him into something else. He did it with Joe Gomez. He did it with Jordan Henderson. He does it. That's what he's amazing at. And so once something resumes to normality before Agnelli goes and changes the Champions League. You know, as I say, Klopp he'll turn it around. He'll make us all eat our words. It's like it's a non-issue.
So you reckon when you say he'll turn it around, do you mean just the players or finishing the season strong?
This season, I think you gotta.
Just write it off.
I've already written it off.
Sometimes it's bad relationships. So, you know, a mentor of mine said she was once in a bad relationship. She said to me, never get in a bad relationship and stay in it. She said, I will not tell you the size of the check I would write to get out of a bad relationship. It's over. Just write it off. and like this season's a shambles, right?
I don't know. Liverpool, we've come, and this is with a United bias on it, is that they are a wounded beast. They're not going to end the season quietly. We'll talk about it later, but there's a Champions League run coming from Liverpool or a late surge into the top four. They're not going out quietly. That's a wounded animal. They've had, I think this is their biggest gap off the whole season.
Yeah.
They haven't played a game by the time they play again. Okay, internationals, whatnot. But it'd been like between actual league, like 10 games, which is unheard of for them.
For sure.
They're going to come back. This season's not over for them. There's a big Liverpool stories to come.
Wow, from a Man United. Listen, we'll talk more Liverpool tomorrow because I do have other questions and wow, Steven Gerrard to manage. Wow,
I'd love it. I'd love to see it. I cannot wait.
Insane.
It's a terrible decision.
Like Steven Gerrard, like the last 30 years haven't been hard enough in the mire. No. Let's just. Oh my God, that is so.
Imagine he actually wins a Premier League there and finally gets that medal.
But why is this happening?
It doesn't make sense.
Why is this like club DNA, Arteta? And why is it so important? Surely, sorry, just one last thing, right? Surely there is some overachieving coach in Belgium or Portugal or China, Norway, okay, that is unconnected to your club. Like the Graham Potter at Brighton.
Yeah.
Someone overachieving somewhere as a coach cannot come in. It's such a weird trend. I cannot. Zidane, okay, but Zidane.
No, there's anomalies. Like, he's not the rule. Zidane's not the rule.
Does everyone want to do another Pep? Do they want Pep 2.0?
No, it's and even then, like, no, everybody keeps saying Pep.
It was made for him.
Pep was, and also he was in the system. But, you know, people must...
and the system was built for him.
And the system was built 40 years ago for him, and he went and perfected it. You know, don't ever compare anyone to the Pep journey, because he was essentially in the womb.
Koeman's another one.
Yeah, that's... those are some scenes, huh?
Oh, but he's turning around.
No, because he's one of the homeboys. Yeah. He gets it. He's from the La Masia camp, right?
I don't know. It's just the most bizarre thing to watch.
Steven Gerrard. That is. I tell you what. That'd be one of the wildest things I've ever heard, because you know there's that thing of. So I've got to say, I have never in my life broken up with somebody and gotten back with them. My rule is, if you break up with somebody, right? Never, ever, 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 ever get back together with them. And
it's not the move.
No. Never, ever go back. And I'm not saying they broke up with Gerrard, but what I'm saying is relationships don't work that way, because now Steven Gerrard isn't going to come back as the local hero. It's Stevie. You got to deliver now, by the way. Like, you're not my girlfriend, you're my husband now. Now you need to deliver, and you're on the clock. Steven Gerrard and that dynamic, like that is, it's too much. As his first real job, I don't count Rangers, like whatever.
I thought you were going to say like the sort of like analogy. I was expecting you half to end up on, this is his first real marriage, his first real time he fall in love. This is the love hour on MKT Sports.
Dr. Phil.
Next question comes from Anonymous in Melville. Why does it burn so much when I'm in love? So I thought you were going with your Steven Gerrard nonsense. Takes us into this place, yeah.
Relationships are important. That's what I hear, huh, James?
Very.
Never, ever get back together with your ex-girlfriend.
Not a plan.
Ever. I've seen too many people do that whole thing. But that's crazy. But we'll talk more Liverpool tomorrow. Absolutely. Because I want to move on to another manager. I want to give you my take, and then I'll come to the boys. Listen. So in life, you are either the guy or the girl. And here's what happens when you are the guy, the girl. You have to win, right? But winning's not for everybody. Everybody's kind of got, this kind of thing of, I wanna win, I wanna be the guy, I wanna be the girl, until you have to be the guy or the girl, It's nice on Instagram. I see it all over. Everyone wants to be a winner. And then you actually have to pitch up at work at 6 and not 9. And then you have to stay till 11 and not leave at 6. Winning's an ugly business, people. And when Jose Mourinho came, there's a reason why when he came to Spurs, I said, right, then I thought it might work because of the ownership. But there's a reason it's not working out. The Spurs players have only ever been comfortable. They've never known expectation. What Jose Mourinho brings with him, and there's a reason he never has kids. I keep telling people this. People tell me Mourinho doesn't develop kids. Shut the hell up. He's earned the right, because I saw the Porto team with Carlos Alberto as the main striker go and win a treble twice.
But at the same time, to cut you off, you also had George Costa and Vitor Bahia as his leaders in his team. So
1,000%.
You know, so he's almost got to have an average age. So for every 20-year-old, he's got to have a 50-year-old just to bring the median to 35.
Alenichev, I mean, that team, Paulo Ferreira, Carvalho, George Costa, I mean, another level. My point is this, is Tottenham need to make a decision. For me, they need to make a decision, and they need to make it now. Do you want to win or do you want to be popular? Because what's happening with Levy now is he's starting to get into the popularity game and he's starting to give the English kids a chance. Jose Mourinho wants to win. And winning's an ugly business, folks. I'll tell you, I work in industry. Winning is not for everybody. I know it looks cool. And to go back to the kind of United analogy, the Paul Pogba thing, and I want to link it to this. There's a reason why I'd never worked with Mourinho, is that Pogba at Juventus, every time Pogba has won, because Pogba looks like the man, right? The image is he's the man. Big, good athlete, phenomenal footballing talent. But Roy Keane was the man. It's very different to look like the man. And I'll tell you why. At Juventus, he was babysat. They had Marquisio, generational. Pirlo, generational. And then they had the guy who was the man, Arturo Vidal. So when the bullets come at Juventus and there's a negative performance, Pogba, those three titans take that on. Now Pogba, you're no longer backup singer. Mourinho doesn't do any backup singers. Everybody's on all the time. And Tottenham aren't used to that. And that heat is too much for that dressing room, right? And the one thing you have to do, you've got to make a decision. You got to get leadership in the dressing room or you got to get talent in the dressing room. And I think Tottenham are stuck somewhere in between that. And Jose Mourinho is not going to tolerate that. And it's just not going to work if Levy doesn't change. So for me, the Spurs dilemma right now, they've got to make a choice. Mourinho or the dressing room. They got to make a choice now. Because winning isn't for everybody. Paulo, I've been on this for a long, long time, is Mourinho's not for everyone. And everybody looks at a resume, right? And, when people come in with a big resume, they come in with expectations. And I'm not sure Spurs were quite ready for Mourinho. I think they thought they knew what they were getting. I don't think they knew just how demanding he is.
Yeah. And despite how it ended at United, I love Mourinho. I think there's, he's just that ballsy, say what he wants, Portuguese. Like, with Portuguese people, we just like that. We just are, and you can't handle it. Like, Ronaldo's like that, and it's very black and white. This is what we want or what we don't want.
Yeah.
Levy, I mean, I was reading something very interesting about Spurs and sort of like their whole timeline. And Pochettino got Spurs to a level that they weren't ready for. So it wasn't part of the trajectory. It was supposed to be float around, big new stadium, then make a push and constant Champions League and, float around there and be top 4 and good runs in Europa and things like that, and then keep building. But Pochettino got them
top 4
much quicker, way ahead of schedule.
And to a Champions League final.
Yeah, exactly. Way ahead of schedule with no budget, whatever. And I don't think that was ever part of the plan. Or at least this article was saying it wasn't part of the plan. Now Spurs, the expectation of what they should be is a million miles of actually where financially they're ready for, squad-wise they're ready for, investment they're ready for. And, the English press, they love to hate Mourinho. So who carries the whole can? He takes the whole thing, but I'm looking at players who have been treading the line at that club.
Yeah.
There's Spursiness. There's that phrase Spursiness. And there's a reason for it. You go through that whole club, and now Mourinho's taking the can because of what he did at Manchester United 3 years ago, for what he did at Chelsea 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And suddenly that's relevant to what he's doing today. You know, listen, like you say, Vidal, he takes the bullets. I think Spurs will back him. Crucially, like they say, when Harry Kane speaks and turns against Mourinho, that's when his problems start. But Harry Kane seems to be on board.
Yeah. Hey, I think that's one thing I wanted to say. I think Harry Kane is he's part of the problem and the solution. Because here's the thing: is I'm not in love with Kane, right? I'm not sure he goes to a Man City and takes them over the top. But okay, let's go with his great numbers and whatever. So people want to argue for Harry Kane is now what does Mourinho do? Because I don't know if Kane is actually the Mourinho guy. Because wherever he's been, he's shown you what he wants. What he wants is an athlete up front. As much as Harry Kane is giving me the goals, is look at all the teams. Benny McCarthy. When he went even with, he had Ronaldo up front, right? He moved them into kind of that 9/hybrid. Because Benzema wasn't loving it under Mourinho because he's not an athlete. And then, of course, the animal Didier Drogba. So I don't know if Harry Kane is as perfect if you go with Mourinho. And I think that's a dilemma as people want it. If anything, I think he prefers Son because Son's giving him that kind of dynamism that he wants. What do you do there? Would you try and move on from Kane?
But isn't that what you're doing here, right? The problem with Mourinho straight away is that you're saying a team now, 15 years disconnected from his first great Chelsea side, and we're still saying that Mourinho, one of the greatest coaches ever, hasn't evolved, that he's still trying to play with the Drogba up front. It just, but isn't that the problem right there? It's like, surely he's evolved.
He is who he is. You know how
I see.
Difficult. You know, here's the thing about successful people. I've seen very, very few of them. Very few successful people are able to change their methods because the world around them's changing. And you know, Mourinho will tell you, I went to a broken United and I won titles. So what do you want from me? So for me, I think the Harry Kane issue is something that I don't know if it's being aired out there. I think that's a bigger problem than people are saying. Is Mourinho is going to have to say the right things. But if anything, I think Mourinho wants to get rid of him. He'd probably rather have Vinicius, who's the Portuguese boy he brought in.
Yeah.
So people always think he's the backup. I think Mourinho wants that guy to start because think of all who does he love? Ibra. He loves the animal of. That's not Harry Kane.
No, Harry Kane's not that.
Harry Kane wants to be false nine, right? And break late like a Lampard into the box, finish first time, right? So what do you do if you Spurs? Do you hang on to Harry because now the injuries are coming? Right. My other problem with Harry Kane is now the injuries are coming with greater regularity. And by the way, can people stop saying he's going to break Shearer's record? He's not, because now the injuries are a problem.
How stupid is Shearer's record, like in hindsight?
Yeah, not bad.
I like it.
Which one are we talking about?
260, huh?
Yeah. And that when did he stop playing?
Like recently.
You know?
But he's fun. That's outrageous.
Alan Shearer, I heard this on a podcast the other day. Would Alan Shearer score more goals in the current Newcastle side than Andy Carroll? One. He has to score more than one goal because that's all. And would Alan Shearer score? He would. I think he would.
No, he's bona fide. He's got 260 goals.
And that record stood for a long time.
260 league goals. That's never going to be defeated.
I think only Andy Cole as number 2 is under threat.
He was on 187, huh?
Yeah, and somebody's chasing him.
No, Rooney. Didn't Rooney?
No, was it Rooney? Anyway, but it's still, look at the disparities. 60 odd goals in between 1 and 2. So with Harry Kane is that, and James actually mentioned it the other day in our pre-prod. Hey, pre-prod guys.
Oh, hey, business talk.
Pre-prod.
That's that industry jargon.
That's what they said after. I'm just saying.
That's
pre-prod. Pre-prod, guys.
Pre-prod, huge. Hey,
Massive.
That's industry. That's for us. Listen, guys, some of the stuff that's going to happen on this show is going to be just for us.
No,
like people need to accept that. It's not about the viewer at all times. Not 90% for you, 10% for us.
And we'll say it. We'll say,
yeah. Pre-prod.
Pre-prod.
So in that, we're like, what happens with Harry Kane, because he's never going to bring in your money, right? So two shoddy ankles, 28 years old, and a hamstring, isn't there a hamstring?
No, injury.
And a partridge and a pear trees. All those things going with Harry Kane. Right? So who goes for him? United, of course, they'll wet themselves if Harry Kane ever gets on the market and just blow everything to get Harry Kane, because that's just the sort of signing they need to make. Oh, God, imagine the tractor sponsors. I see the ads now.
Oh, right themselves.
Harry Kane on a South Korean
Right
tractor
themselves.
ad. The
Let's
official,
Let's
you
go.
know,
Let's go. Let's go.
in a cane field.
Uh,
Harry Kane in a cane field on the official tractor. Write that down. Write that down there. Dear Woody, got a great idea.
Kane Field. Oh,
He will pay his transfer fee back
What?
oh.
selling 4
What
tractors.
a time.
Have you ever tried to buy a tractor? That's expensive.
I
is.
can't say I've ever been in the
No,
market for
that's,
a
City guy.
you know, anyway. So, but then who else? Real Madrid don't have an appetite. They want Mbappe. That's okay.
So did
Um,
Liverpool.
It's so do Liverpool. City want Haaland.
Yeah.
Okay, if they're going to cough up 100 odd, they want Haaland. So Spurs, it's the Zaha situation. Spurs, Harry Kane is worth more to Spurs than he is to anyone else.
For sure.
Yeah.
So like, who's going to buy him? So you're stuck. And then if you do sell him, what honestly does 100 million get you? Hey, not even.
An injured Van
A centre
Dijk.
back. Yeah. Get you a centre. No, in this market, it gets you. You're 100% right. And
So what do they do with him? And you don't drop him
no,
yet. That'll come Mourinho's phase 4. He drops the lead player.
it sounds insane. I'm telling people, Vinicius is gonna be the lead striker at Spurs next season. I know it sounds crazy. I know Mourinho. He's been managed my club twice.
Because that's phase 4 when he's like, you know what, I'm out of ideas. I want out. I'm dropping Kane.
That's
When the fans are back. Okay, let's do it now. Prediction. When the fans are back and things start turning,
Yeah.
Kane gets dropped.
yeah.
Poisonous atmosphere at White Hart. What new Spurs? What's the stadium?
I think it's just
Like
Tottenham
Ridiculous Lane.
Hotspur.
Yeah.
No,
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, I don't think they have
that's
a
it. Yeah,
sponsor yet.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Okay, Saturday match because Sunday's booked for a wedding. Okay, poisonous atmosphere because Harry Kane. Then Harry Kane, 75th minute, Spurs are 2 down.
Yeah.
Does a little run up along to warm up, pretending that I want to get on, but he won't put me in.
Yeah.
How many games into next season? 4 games with fans. That's what happens.
Oh.
4 games with fans. Mourinho's had enough. Harry Kane benched. It plays out.
I
We've-
can see the
We've seen
headlines
this.
now.
We've seen this game. We've
Wonderful.
Seen
I hadn't even thought of it being the same. So yeah, I think. Do you know what? I do think Spurs have an issue on their hands there, and I think for me, I'd back Mourinho because I know what he is. I also know what the players are.
Yeah,
They're not winners.
I'll back
Because you got to
Mourinho.
get rid of 3 of the back 4. Aurier's got to go. Dyer's got to go.
Lloris is getting too mouthy. There's something up there.
I've never liked Lloris anyway. So my rule, goalkeeper, by the way, show rule. A goalkeeper under 191, no good for me. Don't like short keepers. Do not give me anyone under 191. That's a start. Give me Peter Cech. Give me Thibaut Courtois. Because I'm sorry.
Isn't Mendy a little bit on the short side?
He is a little bit on the short
Oh.
side. I think he's like 189.
Yeah, he's just in there. He's just in there.
No good. So 191 is my rule. I despise short keepers. Despise them. So Hugo Lloris, no good.
James? These are strong words, yeah.
Despise.
I just
As a short man myself.
I'm not a short man, so I'm welcomed
Yeah.
into his arms
Well,
lovingly.
I mean, but you're not a keeper.
No,
Oh.
no. I mean, I'm a keeper in some rights, but I
don't
mean,
know. I don't
He's
know.
a keeper of our passwords, so we better be nice to him.
Unbelievable.
So we don't get into
you go,
any
son.
broadcast.
Hugo Lloris, no good. No good. No good. He has to go. Aurier.
I think he's very good. I think Hugo, for his age and the length of his career, I still think he's pretty good.
Would you rather have Hugo Lloris or who's your keeper?
Sergio Romero.
Alisson.
Yeah, so Sergio Romero he's the backup keeper for
Oh,
Man United.
please, I wouldn't take him out.
Would you rather have Hugo Lloris or David De Gea?
I don't know what De Gea's form's been like this season.
Would you rather have De Gea or Karius?
I'd rather have no one.
Would you rather have Karius or a bag of potatoes?
Potatoes.
Right.
Would you rather have Hugo Lloris or who's that? Would you rather have Hugo Lloris or Henderson, who's the current Man United keeper?
I think Henderson's actually doing well for himself.
So you'd
I
rather
think-
have him
yeah,
than Hugo Lloris?
I think so.
Well, there's my answer.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Like I'm not in love with Henderson.
Yeah, I think if you take Spurs' immediate competition, who changes their goalkeeper for Lloris? And I don't think anyone
No.
takes their keeper over Lloris. It takes Lloris over their current.
No,
keeper.
none of the because
That's always a good gauge, right?
Yeah.
Is you go, okay, these are my direct competitors. Who swaps out?
Sure.
And I think
sure.
if none of those 5, 6 change him, then you know.
problems. And then the back four's a shambles. Who's the left back?
Isn't it Reguilon's a right back, and he doesn't
No.
even belong to them.
Well, no, he's got the left footer. Yeah, he's on the left with Davies as the backup option, but that's not good enough.
And then Serge Aurier, where does Serge Aurier is on the right?
Yeah, with
And he's-
well, they just wasted 15 million. They gave Wolves stole 15 million pounds from them for
George Mendes lying in that
Yeah, oh, just
15 million in his gilded bathtub on Ronaldo's island that he gave Ronaldo for his wedding. Put me in that Wolves Connor Cody money. Wasn't Connor Cody? Who was it?
Oh, I forget what his.
That guy.
You know that ain't gonna work. And then you go into the midfield. They got Højbjerg, Dombele. I don't love it. I don't love it. Like I want to win.
Højbjerg can do a job in a lot of other clubs, but not for Spurs, right? There's no creativity in that midfield. Lucas Moura. I mean, come on, that he's still. You know what I mean? You have injuries, and then you
think
know,
he's a talent.
surely there's a kid in the reserves.
So for me again. So what do you do? You are Spurs fan. What do you do, Mourinho?
I think Levy's so infatuated with Mourinho. I don't know if you watched the Amazon documentary.
I loved it.
Oh, I love that, right?
Very good.
And also that's bad for Mourinho because now he became a meme,
Yeah.
and then now all positive. Oh, we love him. He's so, and then he becomes the bad guy again. Levy's in love with Mourinho, and I reckon that gives Mourinho another 2 seasons, even on Mourinho's worst behavior. Worst behavior. Levy loves him because you know what Levy hates more? Payouts.
Yeah, no. He will. He's the best owner in the world.
And there are not, well, he's the best 2IC in
Money
the
guy.
world because the owner's that guy's got that massive yacht in the Thames, that guy, right?
I thought Levy was like the outright owner.
No.
No,
There's. I know who you're talking about.
He's one of the richest
come to
guys in the world. Yeah, yeah.
There's a group. Yeah.
Yeah, he's some IT tech.
That's why we have the laptops.
Yeah.
Billions.
What is this?
Billions of.
What is this little TV? yeah.
So I want to finish off on the Spurs thing.
So just on Levy, right? So
Yeah.
Levy, because Spurs' financial model got broken. Pandemic, no crowds, no renting out White Hart Lane, no NFL, because how many NFL games are going to be there?
4.
You know?
Yeah.
So no NFL games. So all of that revenue's gone. Champions League is at risk. So, Mourinho is safe until there's money. Maybe those 4 NFL games. May the 4 NFL games coincide with the 4 home games where Harry Kane trudging along.
Taken off. Vinicius is the main striker now, and Mourinho is just making
That's
it
how it
into
goes.
Portugal's
So-
C team.
So as long as there's no money for a payout, Mourinho's safe.
Jose Mourinho, huh? That is a situation. All right, well, listen, let's finish up on something which
Who's the Spurs legend could become their manager?
Tim Sherwood, recycle it.
Ledley King.
He's already there. He's already in-house.
He's already there.
He's on the board.
He's already
on the
in
board.
Yeah, he's in the mix already. He's
How does he
one
look
of
in
the-
a suit?
Very, very good.
He's big though, so I don't know if he could wear like skinny trousers.
Yeah, and
He's the unit. He's a unit.
North London, yeah. North London, you want to you want to be with it. Arteta.
Scott Parker's ex-Spurs.
Oh,
Wait, hang on. Sorry. Are we picking managers over what clothes they look good in?
It
Yes.
seems that's the way it
well,
works.
that matters.
Why?
Have you not seen Scott Parker in a suit? He is the.
Have you seen Arteta?
Oh.
He even wears those sneakers with like the big white sole like that, like look like orthopedic
Oh,
shoes.
Lord.
Get out
That's how
of town.
fashionable he is.
Get out of town.
He's
Oh,
wearing
Lord.
medical equipment.
straight off of a GQ cover.
Oh.
And listen, Scott Parker though, best that guy.
Numerous. Like, so if you're going to go the full hog and appoint club legends,
Yeah.
look at all Pirlo, immaculate.
Oh,
Arteta,
man.
Yeah.
Scott Parker.
Frank Lampard looks pretty good in a
Frank
suit.
Lampard was good in a suit.
Yeah.
He lost it when he went into the tracksuits.
Yeah.
Then you knew.
Yeah.
Diego
Gerard
Simeone
Simeone.
looks outstanding. Simeone.
Yeah.
He looks outstanding.
Diego Benoni. That guy too.
no, that's true. Hey,
Scott Parker.
That's business. Oh, the guy. Oh,
Imagine that you're sitting in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with that micro craft brewery
yes.
that looks out into the players' tunnel.
IPAs only.
And Scotty Parker's walking up there with. Last week he wore 2 jackets.
Oh, that grey one.
This week 3 jackets.
you-
It's Spurs. He's wearing
Oh,
3 jackets.
Oh, you
Guys, are we
kidding
talking
me right
football
now?
or fashion?
It's
What's
a
happening?
part. That's business, baby. He's
What
a
is
part
happening?
Of the hey, he's a part of the package. Scott Parker, get out of town.
So
right
that's
now.
the ex-player. Enough DNA for you.
I need to go see who's got the best suit.
Mm.
Hey, big points.
Wait, we can
big
Google
points.
James, just to answer your question, I mean, we end up in this place because, like we say, Mbolelo has the mandatory waxing that we all have to watch before we start broadcasting.
It's part of
That-
the deal.
it. When?
That puts
Subtext.
you in this place.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You'll get the video.
It's a
Yeah.
half a Bitcoin buy-in.
Everybody gets the highlight. Everybody gets the highlights. I think me getting waxed is a highlight for everybody.
The live show is
to
fantastic.
be honest.
Why did he get? Why is he?
hey,
Or did
For
he
this,
get-
for this moment, it all builds up towards this.
James, you'll learn this in life. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
But I want the answer to this
Yeah,
question.
well, that's what you think. Listen, the worst thing in the world is getting what you want, James. Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Hey, let's finish off on this. The Champions League, huh? Heard of that?
The current version or Agnelli's super kung fu new version?
Good point.
Yeah.
Why break something that's not broken?
UEFA. Just like, we'll save that for another day because I'm sick of them.
What do they call it? Serendipity. That the sort of teams that he doesn't want in the Champions League knocks him out the Champions
It's
League.
the best.
3 years in a row. It's great.
Just the best. Anyway, Champions League draw, right? Was this week. Obviously, Man United not in there. Paulo. I'm just saying what's happening. I'm not, that isn't meant to trigger anybody.
So cup teams get knocked out of cup competitions. What do you?
No, sure. Hey,
What are you gonna do?
that's what happens. I'm just saying.
It's
I don't
sport.
make the rules. That's what happened. Man United
I'm
did
just saying.
lose to a Turkish Sunday League team. That's what happened. That happened.
No, we
does that
didn't.
feel?
We lost to.
Leipzig as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost to a Turkish Sunday League team. Istanbul's.
That's.
Khor.
Well, didn't we say we're not gonna diss farm leagues?
Could be worse. You could have lost to Dynamo Zagreb like Tottenham did.
There you go.
Hey, well
There
said.
you go. Could be worse.
Well, good bounce back. Well said. But quarterfinals. Interesting season this year. We'll start off with the first one. City, and look, I'll read all of them and then we'll come back to them. City, and then they are playing listen, the big yellow machine ain't what it used to be, huh?
Haaland FC.
Haaland.
That's what Dortmund are at the
City,
moment.
Haaland FC, and then your folks. But you support
Sporting.
Lisboa, huh?
But I always back the Portuguese side, especially a Portuguese side. So, Porto had a player called Corona.
Yes.
Yes,
Jesus Corona, right?
Yeah.
And now he wears his, I think it's Ticatito. Now he wears his nickname on the back of his shirt.
Did he change it now?
He changed at the beginning of the season.
That's awesome,
So he came back like, when they're finishing off the season, and this year he's Ticatito.
That is incredible.
Those are the moments I live for. Oh, man, that is awesome. So, FC Porto playing Chelsea, Munchen playing PSG. That's probably the game of the round. And then Madrid play Liverpool. Let's start off with the first one. James, I'll let you go first. City versus Haaland FC.
Look, like I said to Paulo before we actually started the show, I think City choke in Europe. I don't think they're any good in Europe. They haven't been for many years. They won't be for a long time. I don't know what it is. I thought it would change when they had Pep, because Pep coming from Barca and Bayern, I thought that would be the sort of switch for City. So I'm going with Dortmund.
All right. Paulo,
Okay,
what you got to say?
Because the semi-final draw puts the winner of PSG and Bayern against the winner of City and Dortmund, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the choke will come one stage later. So I think they're going to get through Haaland FC, because past Haaland there's not much, and I think Diaz is just going to eat Haaland. I don't think Haaland's come up against a centre back like Stones and Diaz.
Fair enough.
And apart from him, there's not much. I mean, Jadon Sancho is like a concept.
Yeah. No, he's an Instagram concept.
But I think that he is. He's like a FIFA 21.
He's not.
That's what he is.
He's not serious about football.
He's a gold sticker thing.
Yeah.
It's like, and so I think City will get through here, and then Pep will overthink it and blow it.
Yeah, I can only see City doing it. I mean, Holland FC, as much as it's a beautiful thing what they've done, come through, it's over.
They're a little bit in flux because there's a new manager coming in. Everyone knows who he is, but he's not quite there yet. Haaland's like, is he going? Because Haaland or Sancho will go if they don't make Champions League next year. Either way, I think one of them goes. So I think they're a little bit, and they're young though. It's such a young side.
It is young, and they were loose. So like Sevilla should have really put them to the sword in the first leg, especially. Porto, Chelsea. Look, I'm going to go here with Chelsea just because I think Tuchel's got them organized. I don't love. I think Juventus are probably the worst they've been in a long time.
Yeah.
There's no way they should have lost that to Porto. So Chelsea quite easily there for me. Jimbo, what you got to say?
I think Chelsea have been in actually phenomenal form since Tuchel took over. So I'm Porto did beat Juve though, so I'm gonna go British luck and go with Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea, Paulo.
Porto aren't there by accident.
Exactly.
You know, and but I think Umbelero and I were having a conversation one day when I think when Benfica played Arsenal, and Portuguese sides will always give you one game in a 2-leg. They'll always give you one game. They just don't have that intensity to give you two. Do these play out over like 3 weeks, right? Or is it 1 week after each other?
Yeah, something like. I think it's 3 weeks this time because
Something
of
like that.
the new like schedule with
Yeah.
COVID and stuff.
That could work in Porto's favor. You know, Porto aren't a Mickey Mouse team. Tactically, they're going to be sharp.
Oh, sure.
They're physical. They're aggressive. Sergio Conceição, I don't know if you remember him as a player. Just, you know, he was the dirtiest, roughest winger I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's brought that into the club. But I don't know. I just think Chelsea, there's just a bit too much. But it's not going to be easy. That's a long haul game there.
Yeah, no, I got to go. I think that's
A Chelsea out come out, but it's a long haul that.
all right. And the other one, this game's going to be unbelievable. Bayern against PSG. What are we saying there? Paolo, I'll go with you.
Is Neymar back? Will he be
Yes.
back? When these games? Are next week?
Yeah, 2 weeks time.
2 weeks time. Yeah, after the internationals. First round after the internationals. If Neymar's back, it's a different game. Pochettino's got a little bit of sharpness in there.
Yeah.
Bayern aren't the same as last year. But isn't it the cycle that a the winner goes back to the final the next year and then loses?
You think that's what's going to
Hey,
No, because
It does happen.
We lost the final to Madrid 2 seasons ago, and then we won the next one.
I think Bayern will get into the final and lose. So I'll say Bayern to go through there.
Bayern to go through, huh?
Interesting.
James, what you got to say there?
I think PSG are similar to City. As many stars that they have on their team, Neymar, Mbappe. Good Lord, there's too many to mention. I don't see them. I know that I think they went to a final last season. If I'm not
Lost to
mistaken,
Bayern?
I don't see them going to a final. I think it was luck for them. I think they had an easy route.
And it was circumstance because they played that mini tournament. I
There you
think,
go.
in a normal situation,
Bubble.
I think
For
that
sure.
bubble thing really helped them in Red Bull, for example.
Sure. So I don't know. I don't back teams like City and PSG in Europe until they've proven themselves.
All right. Listen, the Neymar thing's real now, right? When's he going to pitch up? Like in a big moment.
When his sister
Stops having
stops having birthday parties.
Yeah, if she could.
There you go.
I mean, just to be clear, we're not wishing that she dies,
No.
but she just shouldn't have as a birthday celebration.
We also don't want to cast aspersions about how close they are.
I'm not saying.
I'm
anything
just
about
throwing it.
I
I'm
mean,
just.
yeah.
We just.
I mean,
we're
guys.
just guys. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
we've all got siblings, but let's just. You know what I mean.
Have we seen the Instagram photos? I'm just saying.
They got tattoos of each other.
Game of Thrones. Is that what you're saying? 'Cause
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying
wow.
what I've seen and what a lot of people think.
Okay, people are thinking it. You're putting it out.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying like, it's.
I'm on his wavelength.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
What wavelength is that?
That one.
That one. This is where we're stopping that
all right,
conversation.
that
We're
one.
gonna. What's the football story again?
All right. Okay.
You know
all
what
right.
the Neymar doesn't help himself, right? Is that he's injured. Oh, I need to go back to Brazil for treatment. Okay, because I mean, I'm sure Paris don't have the
No,
best
No,
doctors.
why would they?
Why would they? And then he's in Brazil having parties and going. It's like, dude, come on. At some point, you got to take it seriously.
No, he's a problem.
But I think that's the thing, though. He thinks he's above the game.
Or
he
he's
thinks-
decided he's not at that. He's not going to get to that level. Maybe that's it.
Like it was enough, right? Hey, for some people, it's about business, baby, and he just loves money and
Sure.
lifestyle.
Absolutely.
He's like an upgrade on Robinho, a Robinho who had a good career. Really, is who he? Hey,
Where's Robinho? Turkey now. He's
jail. He's about to go to jail.
after,
What?
but he's
Robinho, he's about to go to jail.
No.
That's a whole
sexual assault.
some stuff happened.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's about to go to jail.
I
think
knew,
it's
I
5
knew
years.
that Ronaldinho was in and out of jail, but I
That
didn't know.
was
I
a
didn't
house
know it
arrest.
was-
Yeah, that was a different thing.
No, but he went to a
was
jail.
selling
He went to a
drugs.
jail,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was moving drugs and
Wait, no,
he
the
had
actual.
a fake passport.
To-
Ronaldinho had a fake passport.
But
We'll
you're
just talk about
Ronaldinho,
that.
bruh.
Ronaldinho
You're Ronaldinho,
had
bruh.
a fake passport in Paraguay.
a
the
country he
guy-
doesn't even need a passport for.
He was in Paraguay with a fake passport. Ronaldinho.
Just okay. Think about it this way: you're the guy. You're the guy that starred in the YouTube video. The first YouTube video to have a million views.
Exactly.
Joga bonito.
That wasn't when he was hitting the crossbar.
Yes,
Yes.
with the white and gold boots.
Joga bonito.
How? Why? People are gonna recognize you.
Fake
Just because you can, like I reckon I'd do the same.
What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? Like, Do you think he's so beyond like awareness that he doesn't
Yeah.
realize that he's Ronaldinho?
Yeah, like, whatever. What are they going to do? What's the worst that's going to happen to me? Honestly, I'm Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
Let's see if I get away with it. It'd be hilarious.
Unbelievable. Why would you have a fake passport? You're Ronaldinho. Although Rafa Marquez was caught up. I don't know. That was a whole different situation as well. Hey, those guys, they live different. But okay, let's move on. Back to the pitch. Real Madrid against James. I'm going to let you go first on this. In fact, James, I'll let you go last on this one.
Okay.
Real Madrid and Liverpool. I'll go first. For me, these are actually probably the two worst sides in the whole thing. Real Madrid, I don't know if people have seen, are horrendous. They are horrendous. The midfield's old. They are old. And they should have lost in the last leg. I've never been big on Benzema. Your thoughts on Vinicius, Paolo?
Like, I think it's just what happens when Galactico policy goes bad. You know, it's like, so Real Madrid obviously went on this thing of signing the best young next, worldwide talent.
Sure.
And I don't know, him and Rodrigo is also there. Like, is there a difference? What are you after? A guy like Asensio. Asensio is available for 40 million euros.
Makes no sense.
Do me a favor.
Makes no sense.
Marcus Asensio for 40 million euros.
Makes no sense.
Who
Makes no sense.
does not bite the handle for that?
And he's one of their own. Why are you letting go of it?
So that is crazy.
Stupid.
To cater for Vinicius, who I don't think is anywhere near that level of player.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Anyway,
You spunk all your money. You're still playing Benzema. And listen, you can't. Preference on Benzema, you can't argue with what the guy's done. And he sacrificed himself for all the Ronaldo years for Ronaldo.
yeah.
So you gotta admire a guy who's done. He sacrificed his French career because he will not turn over some alleged sex tape.
No, sure.
Or he brought forward the sex tape.
No, he did. He actually.
Yes.
So, James, do you know that story?
I do know the story of the sex tape. I don't know the sort of inside details. I know he lost his French
A
career.
very short man called Mathieu Valbuena got caught up in a whole sex situation, and then he got blackmailed. Rumor has it by Karim Benzema, and he had the sex. What are these guys up to? Is it not enough to be rich and be handsome and well paid? And
Because there's no risk.
Yeah,
That's
well
why you
said.
do it.
Once you
need a risk.
once you're happy,
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's Marco Verratti.
yeah.
Divorced his wife
No,
and then
Icardi,
married-
you're thinking about
Icardi.
Icardi.
It's Icardi.
It's a little messier than that. They were teammates.
Yes.
And he took Maximiliano Lopez's wife.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's-
and then it was a whole thing.
Both Argentina and
Yeah.
that's a whole situation.
And he raises his kids and flexes about it.
Yeah.
Okay, did I use that word right? Did I use flex
you
right?
did. I think
yeah,
you did.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Right.
Old man over here getting the words.
So
Look at that.
he's flexing
Maximiliano.
with Lopez's kids on Instagram. It's filthy. It's filth.
That's so crazy.
That's why we love football. It's like days of our lives.
It's
like
just out of
it's the
hand.
best.
It's-
Eh?
Which one's worse, Terry Bridge or that one?
Oh, this one is way worse.
It's way worse.
I think
It's
way
the
worse.
guy's kids. It's his wife. Plus,
She's
here's the
his
best
agent.
part. That's it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Wait, whoa, hang
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Back
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
Who's agent?
She was Maxi Lopez's agent, who was her husband.
Right.
Then obviously dropped him in life and as an agent because you can't. Yeah. And then married one of his teammates. who
And
is
became his
Icardi,
agent.
Who's flexing with his kids on the gram.
And clubs are petrified of Icardi because they don't want to deal with her. She's like she drives a hard bargain, but like clubs are petrified of him.
Wow.
That's a whole career story.
It's a whole thing.
Days of our lives.
Wow.
There
All right.
you go.
Madrid, Liverpool. Again, I think it's the worst tie for me. I go with Real Madrid purely because they're the worst of two terribles. Paulo, your thoughts?
If like I say, Liverpool they're gonna finish the season with something. Maybe not winning the Champions League, but they're not going out quietly. So I reckon Liverpool are going to take Real Madrid out easily. And is this not the round of games? Or am I getting my timelines confused because there is going to be a round of games with fans.
Yes. Yeah.
I know in the Premier League they're moving and Champions League might move, but it might be too early for this.
I think they're bringing fans in the Premier League in April.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
They're moving around back or something.
Good news.
But I think like Liverpool got a big finish in them. They got a big finish, and I think they're going to push Champions League. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the final, but I reckon they're eating Madrid easily.
Jumbo?
Sure. obviously, I would always back Liverpool. Completely unbiased. I know it's going to sound like bias, but I think Liverpool's mentality in Europe is unmatched. They've gone up against bigger sides than Real Madrid in recent years, as we all know. Barcelona, that whole story happened.
Some might say Real Madrid are the biggest side ever with the most Champions League wins.
But don't you see it as typical of Liverpool and their supporters, just that thing their supporters have, for them to finish with 7? Do you not see after the season they've had, worst
Yeah.
champions ever, oh, but we've got 7. I say,
yeah.
oh, no, but you like finished 10th, 7.
Yeah,
No, but you're the worst, 7.
it's going to happen.
Okay, but Salah wants it, 7.
Man United.
Is that
Twitter-
not meant
Man
for me?
United Twitter will melt.
Is that not
down.
meant for us,
It'll
right?
melt down if Liverpool get.
You see,
Oh.
it's because it's one of our strongest arguments, and not a lot of English clubs, and a lot of the English clubs that do roast us, Man United, City, all of that stuff. Not a lot of them can compare to 6. I think we're on 6.
Yeah.
6 European titles.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You're just putting it out there.
I know,
And I
so-
mean, as you can see in the little graphic that says Road to Istanbul 21, same stadium we won in
Oh,
05.
God, here we go.
Same
Oh,
stadium
Jesus
05,
Christ.
just saying.
Just putting it
Just
out there.
saying.
It's revolting.
To wrap up, I back Liverpool.
Liverpool,
I
huh?
do. Not because I'm a supporter, but because I think their mentality in Europe is incredible.
They're just not going to, the season's not over for them by any
No,
means.
no, I think that
No ways.
they'll want to finish strong.
That's so interesting to me because I think Jurgen Klopp's burnt them out. I think it's over.
This break is massive for them.
Mm.
This time off is absolutely massive for them.
All right.
Virgil van Dijk will still see him this season.
I think so.
We'll still
Because
see him.
the season's also prolonged. I think he's back.
What? But why rush him back? You're not making top 4 unless you're in the Champions League final. What's the point?
I think rushing him back is almost like that return to normalcy for Liverpool. It gives not only the fans but also the team a little bit more hope.
Gomez is also floating around. He's also back soon.
It's true. I think the sooner we're not playing Henderson and Fabinho as centre backs, who are the worst pairing in the whole world,
Yeah.
I think the better.
And Alexander Arnold, he's not in the England squad.
He didn't get selected
Yeah.
because Gareth Southgate believes he's not at his full ability at the moment.
He's also got his time off. I'm telling you that Van Dijk, Gomez, and Alexander Arnold will hit a bit of form towards the end of the season.
I think you're right. I think Klopp's burnt them out a bit. I think Klopp has,
this break is huge for them.
Yeah.
Huge. They'll make a documentary on it.
like they did for
Like every time Liverpool farts, you get a Supersport documentary on.
Yeah.
What is that? Like every time Liverpool do anything, there's a Supersport documentary on it.
branding.
I don't need
Branding.
a Gerard Houllier documentary.
You know what I mean?
Like he didn't do anything. It was please, it was a fake treble.
I'm waiting for one. Xabi Alonso is Mönchengladbach coach.
Gladbach, yeah.
Listen,
Documentary.
I can
Watch.
handle him. Like he's a legendary. I don't need a Steve Finnan documentary. And by the way, there is one.
But you'll get it.
No, there
You're
is
gonna
one.
get it.
There is a Steve Finnan documentary.
For his
What are we doing? What's next? Milan Baros. Fabio Aurelio. I'm going to get a Fabio Aurelio documentary.
Sean Dundee.
Javier Mascherano.
Right, he's a,
Oh, he deserved it. Ripped his bum
He's
hole
a
in a
legend.
World Cup. Yeah.
He's a legend. So
he
there
is.
that.
He's more of a Barcelona legend. I'd say.
Whatever it is, Supersport will flight it,
They will.
It's true.
and we'll
Content.
watch it and go, "Why the hell am I watching this?"
That's content, baby.
That's it.
That's content.
There
We
you
are
go.
in that game. Hey boys, that is it for today. So you've gone BVB, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Liverpool as James. We'll obviously pick that as we go along. Paolo's gone Man City, Chelsea, Munchen, Liverpool for this round, huh?
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll see how that works out, and we'll probably work out something. It'll probably be a fine, or I don't know. I'll figure something out. Hey, Jimbo.
As long as it's not a weird tattoo or anything.
I have
like
to give James my mic stand.
that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
No, but wait. What's the? I'm serious about this. What's the bet here? If Liverpool go final, or what's the plan?
Oh, you got to win it. What game are we in?
I might as well buy my mic stand.
Hey, tough. That's business, baby. By the way,
Mark that.
Yeah.
13, 15, okay.
if you're gonna be the youngest person, you got to get through it.
Look, I've got to bide my time, I guess.
That's what it is, James, and that is our time for today, ladies and gentlemen. For today, it's been me, the boys, and we are the hell out of here.